This is the opening passage of a work intended, in the composer's words, as, quote, an untethered embrace of the architecture of the common Valencia orange through billowing harmonics and somewhat viscous chords and melodies, close quote. The piece presents a musical surface that is bright, vividly colored. It's a focused swirl of energetic activity. In the upper instruments, we hear two different patterns of oscillating string harmonics, each lasting for roughly half of the passage. Beneath the harmonics, we hear a pizzicato line in the cello, played twice, a progression of arpeggiated major and minor triads, and finally a cadential progression directed toward an A major triad where the subsequent section begins. The opening music, a sort of vamp, involves the rapid alternation of two chords, G, D, A, and A, E, B. Vertically, both chords are arranged as a stack of perfect fifths, with A at the top of the first stack and at the bottom of the second stack. Each instrumental voice moves up and down by two semitones, G, A, D, E, and A, B. The collection is symmetrical on A. Taken as a whole, the five sounding notes comprise a pentatonic scale, G, A, B, D, E. Although without making clear what scale degree 1 might be. Both G, the lowest note, and A, the highest note, would seem to be good candidates. Beneath this shimmering vamp, the cello provides a pizzicato line of two single notes, two dyads, and a three-note chord. It reinforces our sense that the pentatonic collection is symmetrical around A. A is embellished by a lower neighbor G, replicating at that level the rapid alternation of G and A in the viola. The three-measure phrase concludes with what sounds like a cadential progression in A major, from the subtonic triad, G major, to the tonic triad, A major. This cadential arrival affirms A as scale degree 1 of the pentatonic collection in the upper voices. Pentatonic on A is A, B, D, E, G, A. The A is thus the principal tone, both as scale degree 1 of the pentatonic scale and as an inversional center. The cello also introduces two new notes, F sharp and C sharp, thus expanding the prevailing collection from pentatonic on A to mixolydian on A, which is A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A. The expansion entails a shift in the inversional axis from inversion around A to inversion around E. When the cello melody ends, a new oscillation of string harmonics begins in the two violins. It lies within the original pentatonic collection, but its orientation has shifted from A to E, confirming that shift in the previous music. Vertically, both chords are arranged as perfect fifths, with E on the bottom of the first dyad and on top of the second one. Each instrumental voice moves up and down by 5 semitones. E to A and B to E. Beneath this new shimmering oscillation, we hear arpeggiated major and minor triads in the cello and viola. For the first group of chords, the instruments are playing in octaves. In the second group of chords, the instruments are playing in canon at the octave, with the viola 1/4 note triplet behind the cello. The triads are still there, but slightly disjointed. The basis for this arrangement of triads is a 7-chord segment of the slide P chain, starting on A-flat major, then alternating slide and P until an arrival on B major, the goal of the progression. The cello and violas start each melody halfway through this progression on B-flat major, then play through the whole progression from the beginning. Starting on A-flat major, via slide to A minor, then via P to A major, and now we're a semitone higher than our starting point. This pattern then continues. Slide to B-flat minor, P to B-flat major, slide to B minor, and finally P to B major, our destination. It's 3 semitones above our starting point on A-flat major, which immediately reappears the first time through. Here's the full progression. Unlike the pentatonic and diatonic first half of the passage, this progression is highly chromatic and uses 11 of the 12 notes. Only G is missing. The missing G arrives in the final measures of the passage as part of a cadential progression directed toward the A major triad. In these measures, there is a symmetrical convergence on A. From B a step above, B was the goal of the slide P chain in the preceding passage, and from G a step below. A sense of symmetrical balance on A has been part of the music from the very beginning, so this arrival on A simultaneously initiates a new section of the music and recalls the music's point of departure.